Perfect. All right. Like this. Clip it on. Should be. So one thing I like to do personally is, even though I already did the advertising and everything, I don't want to set up my water fed equipment for the fact that when I start cleaning, it's going to have some screens on it. So after I set up the advertisement, right, we want to keep everything going. I come here. This is an old client of mine, so I kind of already know where her screens are at. But it's always nice to have something like this. Again, Home Depot. Actually, I have two tools, right, from Home Depot. So very simple. You come here, find where the pressure spot is at. Okay, so we're gonna get a new GoPro. It's already final. I talked to Ashley about it. We're getting a new one. So sorry for the delay. For the next one for sure. So when I take off the screen, I like to leave it right next to it because it's on the outside. Now the ones upstairs, I like to do from the inside, then leave it inside, and then from there, once I'm done with the job, I like to put everything back. So when it comes to these screens here that are doors, we don't worry about those because those ones, you just slide it and it's not a problem. So again, come here. This one I think slides. All right, so like I said, we're gonna show you how to set this whole thing up. Now, like I said in the previous video, I started off with a DI system, right? So, so that DI system was exactly this right here, more or less. So it's not the Unger, but it's more or less this. But like I said, I started from nothing. I started with having just a DI, but that's what I was saying, that it's important to have the RO, DI, and carbon filter. Carbon filter, RO, DI, okay? I totally recommend having a hose. I would say anything below 25 feet. This is about 10 feet. So I can connect to the spigot here, and it looks like I'm not gonna be able to reach all the way to the grass, so it's just gonna have a little bit of water. But so perfect example, I wasn't able to remove the hose from the spigot, so we now have to compromise. So we'll go to the next one. So one tool, I guess both tools that I actually really like a lot is this Micro. This Zero Micro is the one I put on the link in the description. That this thing is awesome for residential work because this by itself can go up to 30 feet. And if I'm not mistaken, on the third clamp, it also becomes a trad pole. So forget which one it is. I think maybe it's this one. Let's see. But anyways, it's really convenient. Yeah, this is the trad pole. So it's very convenient. So like if you want to do a small little job or whatever, it's very simple to just pull it out and be able to use it in that end. So like I was saying before, this, come real quick. So this right here is like a great on-off little valve here. So then, you know, water doesn't leak into the car. But when I get to the job site, I need to connect this into it, right? So I take this off, I connect this in. Very simple, very easy. Once I have that in, you want to secure it. Make sure that this is on, this is off, this is on, that it flows parallel to the tubing. And then from there, what I like to do, disconnect this there, connect here, get that going. So like I was saying, I like to have the hose come out a little bit because if you start pulling this out and that tubing is underneath, then from there, it might be kind of hard to get out. But anyways, you want to start off by unreeling everything to make sure that everything is taken out so that you want the flow to be as consistent as possible. So now that we have this going, right, you want to bring it over here. Then you want to make sure that the tubing is straight as possible. So now after you have all this set up, we want to make sure that it's connected in. So you want to pull this guy in, push it in, make sure that it's on. This is off, right? Blocking, flowing. And then from there, you want to come and then start it up. Make sure it's all the way open. You don't want to have any water not flowing through. Now the water shooting out, that's great, right? That means that it's working. Then you come here, everything's flowing. Now you might say, well, why is the water not coming out? It's because I have a univalve inside. So this, in my opinion, is awesome flow right here. Anything more than this is overkill. So this is a great flow. Like I said, I have the Tucker's Boar Hairs brush, and from there it's able to shoot everything over it. So this is great for hydrophobic windows. And so from there, like let's say you don't have a lot of pressure, then you go from here, same tool. You disconnect from here, you connect in the bottom, and now you have pencil jacks. There you go, perfectly. So obviously this is something when you have low pressure, it's only 2 tubes, but yeah, it's great. And there you go. So that's how you set up the water fed system. So like I was saying before, this is an awesome residential. It also has a swivel on here too, which is really great. So now let's try to focus on these upper windows, right? So you get this here, you open it a little bit, you want to have it so that it's a little bit higher, because essentially you want to be flushed on the window. You okay there?
Yes.
I was like, should I say something?
This was in a way.
So again, perfect for residential. Just pull this out, right? Each tube, it's a little bit longer, right? I wanted to focus on just these 5 and all those. If you want to show the camera, see how all the water is dripping. So it's essentially best to actually clean the windows upper first, then down. But even though I cleaned it already, in my personal opinion, I think it's best to just want to make sure that it's thoroughly clean. Part of the service, always included. I like to go over it just one more time. And then, but in this time, instead of just rinsing the top, I also like to rinse it down. And I'll show you right now. All right. And like I said, because it's already clean, I don't need to clean the frame again. Try to just go a little bit over. But what's most important is that I get everything cleaned just one more time, because I already cleaned the window. And then from there, we're gonna rinse it off. Let's see. So one thing that I don't suggest, but you could do that, is instead of like going over the second or third time, just doing this. Don't even clean and just go over it. Yeah, sure, it will work because you might think, oh, it's just bad water, let's take it off. But for me personally, it's always best to be safe than sorry. So it's always good just to clean it overall, kind of get everything going. And then once it's done, just do it one more time. Make sure you don't get any parts of the other windows or frames wet, but we should be good to go. Boom, boom, boom. And that's it. So in this case, like I said, we went up and down the first time. So this time what I like to do is just go from the top down and then rinse off. So it's a little bit easier, it's not too much work. And because you're just trying to now just make sure you get anything that was left behind, any dirt, any buildup or whatever. It's a good practice so that you never have to get any callbacks. I personally never get any callbacks because of this technique. Maybe others have a faster way of doing things, but I'd rather make it right the first time. So we go across the top and then we just come down. So one thing that I was saying about this pole, how great it is, you saw I did all the upper ones, not even a problem at all. So now let's focus on the bottom ones. But look how simple it is to actually have a short pole. Boom, come here, do the top, because it's already done dripping. One thing I really like about this pole is just how convenient it is. You know, I don't have to go over these bushes or anything like that to get these windows clean. But also too, one thing you want to be careful of is that door over there. Yes, it's important to be licensed and insured, but at the same time, doors like this I don't trust, and water gets in, and I don't want anything like that to happen. So I always just do those by hand. But besides that, this is a perfect tool for any single window available outside. So one thing that's really awesome about this, again, look at this angle that I'm cleaning this window. Do you think you'll be able to put a ladder on the side and be able to clean these windows?
With no scratches from the trees?
That's true. We don't want any scratches on that. But what do you think? Do you think this is a great tool, More?
Yes, it's amazing.
Yeah, let's See, so I can do all these like that, no problem. There's sometimes some debris from the tree, but yeah, it's good to go. If you've made it this far in the video, consider subscribing, liking the video, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!